My name is Jordan Bennett. I'm a Mi'kmaq visual artist from Steamboat Crossing to Hamkook, now known as Newfoundland. I currently live in Corner Brook, Newfoundland with my family. And yeah, I'm an artist, I do sculpture, I do painting, murals, sound installation, and my practice revolves around who I am as a Mi'kmaq person and everything that encompasses my life. The title of the mural is Bidawa Dieg, which is we go upriver. It's a Mi'kmaq word. And the piece itself is on the face of OCAD University, right alongside of Butterfield Park. So it was an honor to create something that is the only outward-facing Indigenous representation on OCAD campus. The piece itself is rooted in Mi'kmaq porcupine quillwork, inspired by a piece of quillwork that is usually housed at the Royal Ontario Museum, but through the exhibition Souvenir, has been on exhibition here since June of 2022. So the work itself draws inspiration from the quillwork, but also of the history of this place. The underground riverways, and as a visitor to this territory, I wanted to create something that spoke about gathering and being in place and sharing across nations. So when creating this piece, it was really amazing to have a different perspective on the city. Being up in the lift and being up so close to the architecture in a place that not many people get to hang out and visit. I got to see a lot of the life that happens around the piece. So there's a park nearby, and it was really cool to see young people playing in the park and thinking about this piece being the backdrop of these young people's day and their memories in the future. So whenever I travel to different places, oftentimes in these large city centers, I get a chance to visit with our community belongings, and a lot of them are in the form of porcupine quill work. The porcupine quill pieces created in Mi'kmaq territory find their way to these museums and collections through trade, through different means, through collections, and also taking our community belongings that belong to us. So when I get to go to these urban centers, I often do a bit of research and find out what community belongings are present in this town or city that I'm visiting. So one such piece is at the Royal Ontario Museum, which really inspired this piece. The colorways, the designs, the motifs are all based within this quill work that you can see at the museum sometimes, not very often, but through this exhibition Souvenir. So I pull a lot of colors, I pull a lot of inspiration, and I think about how those colors tell stories now, how they told stories in the past, and how those stories can move forward in the future. The porcupine quill work that inspires the work is quite small in scale, and whenever I see these porcupine quill pieces, they hold so much importance to me and to my community that I imagine them huge. So when I can get the opportunity to take a quill that's this big and blow it up to 50 feet high, that really shows and displays the importance that our visual culture and our designs have to communities. I mean, that can be translated to anyone's communities. These community belongings, these designs hold so much power, and to be able to make them large for everyone to see and interact with, it's amazing to do that. Through creating this show at OCAD, at Onsite, as well as the mural, I had a chance to work with amazing assistants. And 3 of them were young Indigenous people, 2 of which had ties to Mi'kmaq communities back east. They've been living in the city for a long time and have had the chance to visit home territory, but it was really amazing to spend time with them and to share what I know about where I'm from with them and my process of art making. It was very inspiring to have their energy around in the space and to share color and form and see their ways of being and their attention to detail, which is so evident in our community's visual culture and work. So it was amazing to share, and I haven't done too much mentoring in that way, especially when it comes to murals or filling a space like this with work. So it was just, I can't even explain it in words. It was awesome. It was fantastic. I think my overall experience was, it was daunting at first. I've never done a mural this big, and but I felt so taken care of, and so loved by everyone who worked on this piece and helped it come together, and to share with the community and with the space and with the land. It means a lot. And to be this far out from the piece's creation, I mean, it's been almost a half a year since it's been up. For people to be messaging me on social media and saying that they get to visit this piece, and it means a lot that they have this bright piece within their community. I think this mural, I'm just watching the video as we're talking here, I think it was a really interesting way to play with material, and using paint on brick on this building, you know, that can hold so much history but also hold so much pain in these bricks, to color them and bring light to a space that holds so much creativity inside of it. And there's so many students that go to OCAD and that learn about who they are and their practices on the inside of the building, to have something facing outwards in conversation with a piece that was created, you know, a couple decades ago. The architecture was really special. So to use these new technologies through like the vinyl, and to create a very holistic piece that looks very seamless was super special, especially when you think about the root of the piece itself being quillwork. Flash forward 200 years, and here we are making a piece based on quillwork in a brand new way. And I think another thing I found really interesting since the get-go of this project was the stilts that the building is sitting on reminded me of porcupine quills. And that's one of the big inspirations for the piece, was thinking about these colored giant porcupine quills and how they relate to the piece that I could create.